and welcome to this Bitwise webinar on empowering test engineering with on-demand test data provisioning. My name is Nathan Nichols, Communications Manager here at Bitwise, and joining me today is our very own Samarth Siare. As a business and quality analyst at Bitwise, Samarth plays a key role in helping clients deliver value with their QA initiatives. Samarth is a leading member of the Bitwise Design and Architecture Research Team, or DART, where he is responsible for driving innovations in test automation tools and technical solutions to business problems and requirements. Before I pass things over to Samarth, let me first provide a quick introduction to Bitwise. Bitwise, a data management consulting and services company, uses over 20 years of enterprise data management experience to help bridge gaps between traditional EDW and cutting-edge technologies, including big data and cloud. What truly sets Bitwise apart is our technology leadership in creating unique accelerators that reduce the time, complexity, and cost of large-scale data initiatives, such as ETL conversion and cloud migration. If you have any questions during our session, feel free to send those via the question feature or contact us at any time at sales@bitwiseglobal.com. And with that, I'd like to pass things over to Samarth. Samarth?
Thanks, Nathan, and welcome everybody to the world of test data management. Before going further into how TDM works and what things are, let us first have a quick look on few of the most common challenges that we see. Now, when our goal is to achieve end-to-end automation, as it is the answer to the most of the challenges that we face to minimize overall cost and at the same time maintain the quality. And achieving a level of automation can also be a challenge. When talking about test data, these are the most common challenges that we see in everyday life. Study says that unavailability of correct volume and variety of data is one of the biggest challenge for testing teams to provide best test coverage. And this compromises the quality and often lead to late discovery of defects, which are obviously much more costlier to fix. And if these defects are discovered in production, may lead to revenue losses as well. The best data is found in the production, since these are the actual entries that application uses. However, the biggest challenge is to maintain the compliance and data privacy policy when using this data for testing purposes. This presents the risk of data breach, reputational damage, and fine for non-compliance that can reach into millions of dollars. Next, stale test data that is not refreshed timely or does not adhere to the necessary relationships required to test several business scenarios lead to false positives and directly impact deliveries. We all know that manually processing is always time consuming, tedious, and costlier in many senses. And so is the manual test data provisioning. In fact, within some agile organizations, data refresh can take longer than the sprint itself. Along with that, manual process is prone to errors that we cannot simply afford. Now, availability of test data when it is most needed is of most importance. The proverb when I think about this situation comes to my mind is a friend in need is a friend indeed. So either unavailability of test data when needed will lead to delays or risk-based testing will be used. And we all know we do not want to run into these situations. When we promote our code from one environment to another, we need to run our test to validate, and to do this, we need to set up test data in every environment. Redoing this all in all these environments manually is a challenge. Agile is the mainstream now, and accommodating the ad hoc request is considered to be one of the strengths of agile development. If not properly organized on testing front, accommodating these requirements often lead to test data changes and significantly improve overall testing scope. Accommodating these changes is not only a challenge, but it is time and budget consuming as well. Testing industry today is looking for ways and means to optimize efforts and costs associated. One of the potential area of optimization is test data management. Let's move forward to understand what key features of Bitwise TDM, an automated test data provisioning tool, can help us with these challenges. Bitwise TDM is a code-free automated test data provisioning tool. By following simple steps, user can get required test data. There are three main methods by which this can be done. The first one is data cloning. Simply identify the source data and map the target columns to the targets, maybe a test environment. Define your cloning rules like filters, etc. Apply masking, encryption, hashing rules to your sensitive data columns for your compliance and get the desired test data. Second way is synthetic data generation. Simply specify the data generation rules for each column based on your business needs. And if you wish to maintain parent-child relationship between tables, define the relationship. You can use inbuilt data libraries or extend them to meet your needs and get prediction like synthetic data generated as and when you need them. The third approach is more of a hybrid, which we call hybrid cloning. This is a combination of both synthetic and data cloning, often used to in situations of system enhancement. Say for example, a new enhancement needed to introduce a new column into your table. So why do you want to simply define rules for everything when you can clone the existing columns and simply define the rule for the new column? To fulfill your cloud testing needs, TDM can easily be deployed on Google Cloud, AWS, or Microsoft Azure. You can choose on-prem deployment as well. Let's see that how test data management can fulfill your agile test strategies as well. Today, the agile methodology and its component have become second nature to so many organizations, so much so that thinking of a world without agile is almost impossible. And as we all know, a successful tester facilitates this by perfectly articulating the requirements, testing continuously, getting results, giving timely feedbacks, and automate as much as possible. Let me shed some light on end-to-end automated test bed setup. This includes automated infrastructure setup via tools like Chef, where entire infrastructure can be mentioned as a code. You can automatically manage your configuration for those environments and virtualize the unavailable components which are needed for test component under test. Stubs and drivers are the ones that I'm talking about when we talk in testing terms. Create the required test data, which is generally done manually, and execute automated test data. But wait, something doesn't look right here to me. Manual test data creation. Here, let us replace this step with automated test data creation. Bitwise test data management can help you replace this manual step and achieve end-to-end test bed setup. And all this in one click of a button or simply triggered by your any uh, scripts or just as and when you need it. This can decrease your setup time drastically and increase efficiency in your test cycles. Let's move forward to have a look on high level architecture diagram of test data management. TDM is made as a single page web application to avoid unnecessary page transitions and page loads. You can use all your popular browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari to access TDM. This really eliminates the need of any client-side installation. All you need to access the TDM is a browser. You can also execute your TDM jobs by command line or even via exposed APIs as well. All the rules that you create for your test data generation are stored at the backend, and now the rule processing engine will read the rules from backend database and pass them to the execution engine. Execution engine is scalable is working in a scalable model here. As you can see in the diagram, it is a master slave configuration which can be scaled highly according to your needs. Master manages the agents as well as provides user with the updates on the task. Fallback, fallback and failures are handled here. Agents work in isolated environment to execute the TDM jobs. As we all know that one size does not fit all, so this really helps to scale the TDM application as per your needs. Next comes the data virtualization layer. With the help of data virtualization layer, TDM can connect to the heterogeneous set of data stores and execute all your TDM jobs. This also enables user to clone data from one data store to another store seamlessly. Next, to understand how TDM can really help, let us consider few use cases, and later we will see these use cases in live demo and in action in TDM tool. The first use case I want to discuss is a data cloning use case wherein you have the data already present in your higher environment, say maybe production, but you want to really manage your compliance and data privacy policies. For this, simply masking mechanisms are available where you can simply hide or uh, simply mask the sensitive fields and clone other fields as is. But we do not really at times need entire data as is with us, so we can also subset them according to our test scenarios. The second use case that I want to discuss is synthetic data generation. Now consider a scenario where your development is entirely new, or maybe you are not having the accesses, or the access to the higher environments is not permitted. In that case, you can simply use synthetic data generation rules and generate production like synthetic data. Here you can also maintain parent-child relationships, which are very essential for your business rules. You can use inbuilt data library from test data management tool and even extend this library according to your business scenarios. Generating test data is one thing. Maintaining and continuously evolving the test data to provide maximum test coverage and keeping it up to the mark is also very important. Bitwise TDM can help you very well for these kind of scenarios as well. Let me explain you one of them. We call it data merging. So take an example that you have a baseline data, which is depicted as table 1 here. Using this baseline data, you create a subset in environment 1, say for record number 123 as a subset. Now to you realize that okay, record number 1 has something that I can enhance in it and make it better for scenario coverage. So you update record number 1, and you find that okay, one scenario is missing, test data record for one scenario is missing, so you add a new scenario to it, which is depicted as primary key number 5 here, record number 5 here. You're done with your testing, and now your baseline version is no longer up to date. I mean, what you do to make it reusable for the next time. So in this particular case, you can really use data merging scenario wherein all your environment when updates can be merged back to your the baseline database, which can be also called as gold copy for you. And here all the updates will be merged to the baseline, and existing records will be preserved as is. So you can see the update of record number 1 is merged back, and fourth is as is, fifth is added here. We'll see this in real action as well. Now, without taking much time, let me go directly to the test data management tool and show you all these things in real life scenarios. So as you log in into the application, you land on the page and you need to select a project. Let me select the project. As you select the project, all the items in the left hand navigation are populated here. Now, the first thing that we need as part of any job execution is to create a database connection. Here, I have created already one for you, which is a SQL Server database connection. As you can see, these are really simple parameters that you can pass to connect to this database. Once you're done with this, we create a table group. I have one already created for you to show our first use case. Here we have a target table and a source table. In the left hand side, you can see all the columns for target are listed. In the right hand side, all the columns for the source are listed. Now TDM automatically maps these columns based on the names. You can also choose them to manually drag and drop and map them as per your needs as well. However, to avoid any human errors, we have certain validations here so that mistakenly somebody does not map to the wrong column. So the next part comes masking the sensitive information. So in this example, if you see employee card number is something that we feel like is a, or rather in this particular use case is a sensitive information that we do not want to pass down to the lower environment. So in that particular case, I have applied a simple masking rule which redacts everything between character number 3 and 7 and replace it by say a character X. You can choose your own masking rules. You can define your own masking rules in the tool. Along with that, you want to now apply certain filters. Say, for example, I want to fetch records for all the employees for employee ID greater than 200. As you can see, the filter interface is quite intuitive. You can also specify number of records. Now let us go to the database and check what is present in this particular table as of now. So if I execute the query, we can see it is empty as of now. I'll go ahead and execute this job. So you can see the data cloning has happened real quick. And let me go back to the table and see whether it was a success. Okay. So it is as we expected. So you can see the employee filter to the employee table has been applied, wherein all the employee IDs are greater than 200, and the card number has been redacted according to our own rules. Let's go ahead and see the second scenario, that was synthetic data generation. Here we have a list of 5 tables, and we want to see the reference parent-child relationship between these tables. So we have a canvas view where you can easily understand what is the relationship between these tables. I've already set the rules for you to for the quick demo of this particular feature. So as you can see, for all the 4 tables in different tabs, the rules are set. Data consistency rules are also set there. I've specified the number of rows for this particular group as 10. Let me go ahead and execute this now. Oh, wait, let's go to the table first and see whether they are empty or not. Okay, so they are empty as of now. So let me execute this. And as you can see, again, the data cloning, synthetic data generation happened real quick. So all our target tables are now populated. The third scenario that I want to show here is data merge. This is a maintenance scenario where you can maintain your test data according to your needs. In this particular case, you can see all one option present here, which is called as cloning option merge. Uh, it is simple like cloning rule. Let us go back to the table and see what is the real difference between the tables here. We have a baseline version and environment one here. So in the top side, if you see, we have a baseline. So the first record here, 5853, has the country as Spain, and it has been updated in the environment one to United States. The other difference is, if you see, record number 10,001 is not present on environment 1, but a new record, that is record number 10,000, has been added to environment 1. So now when we merge this, we expect everything which is there in environment 1 to get updated in baseline version. And if anything is missing, that should get inserted into it. Let us go ahead and execute the job. So as you can see that the job has been executed now. So this is pretty much about how, let's go back to the table now and see whether the things are up to the mark or not. If you see first record, so it has been updated to United States as was in environment 1 earlier. And at the bottom, the new, the missing record is updated in baseline back. So this is how data merging happens, and this is the maintenance scenario basically. Let me walk you through the left navigation pane quickly. The left navigation pane has the features like you can see the reports here, you can manage the users here, roles here, and extend your data library as well. So if you need to see through all other scenarios, please feel free to reach us for a detailed demo. Given the time constraint, this is all we can cover right now. So let's move forward and see what real benefits that we get. So the thing is, in today's competitive technological landscape, the barrier to compete are minimal. Hence, I believe the best way to survive is to be able to move fast and defend one's stature by innovation. TDM is an innovation that really enables you to achieve end-to-end test bed setup automation. Bitwise TDM can help you improve quality by formalizing the requirements of all your test data needs with better design and optimized test data. This helps you to achieve maximum test coverage as well. We have already seen how TDM can be used in Agile. Also, with the help of few use cases, we have seen how TDM can be used with different scenarios as well. However, there are many more use cases and scenarios where TDM can be used when it comes to the test data provisioning. Since we are reducing the test bed setup time with the help of more streamlined process, the time to the market is definitely going to be reduced, and the benefit of that can be scaled in many fronts. Let me go ahead and show you a brief list of TDM features. Say, for example, single sign-on is one of them. You can really integrate to your AD system, your organization's AD using SAML, LDAP, Kerberos, or whatever is of your choice. For clouds, we can use Azure authentications and other cloud authentication mechanisms. Email notifications, which will notify you in case of unattended executions. Setting up of business names. Many times we see that the databases have the cryptic name used. So it is really difficult to understand what is the real meaning or how they should be, what they really mean. So in this particular scenario, TDM helps you to set the business names at TDM level and set the rules for them respectively. For now, this is all from my side, and please feel free to ask the questions if you have any. Nathan, back to you.
Great. Thanks, Samarth. We hope that this session provided a good overview of TDM for your on-demand test data provisioning needs. For more information, there's a few ways that you can get started with TDM. First, feel free to visit our website, www.bitwiseglobal.com/TDM for additional resources. Or if you're interested in exploring a 30-day trial or a supported POC, certainly connect with us at sales@bitwiseglobal.com. With that, I'd like to thank you for your time today and for joining us. We look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you.